If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that.
Popping bottles.
You're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
Popping pills.
That's just what comes with being a man.
Popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucking body.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run out, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halos on God in the cake.
Let's see. So we've been told y'all we was gonna answer these voicemails and just run through them. So that's what we on today.
Let's do that.
I don't got the story today. Y'all got the stories. Goddamn
Right.
Shit. Let's see. First voicemail. Let's hear it.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, I know.
First I want to say, Terry, I love you real bad. Like, I'm suffering from limerence when it comes to you. Anyways, I wanted to ask Joan a question in regards to the situation with the shooting. I really just want to know how you're doing mentally. Like, how are you feeling? Now, I know y'all from Chicago, and y'all are desensitized to that stuff or whatever, but I really just wanted to check in on his feelings. I hope you're good.
Shit, when did she say that? It's September? What's it? It's September 5th. That happened July, 4th? July 1st. And yeah, we from Chicago, desensitized. But I think I was more desensitized. This is gonna sound fucked up when it was happening to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear about it so much. So when you hear a story about, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker got shot at, shot, killed, you like, damn, that's crazy. It's your response. Shit, I still deal with that shit like mentally. Like it'll be random. Especially anytime I don't live in the city. Anytime I come in the city, like I just be, you know, just you being from Chicago, you got a natural swivel on your head. You know what I'm saying? But after that, my shit is just, you know, even more. And I just randomly think about that shit, or, you know, I don't even want to say, but like thinking about like, damn, I could have been dead, I could have died, and all that type of shit. So it's not on a daily basis, but it's a recurring thought for sure. I talked to my therapist about it, and you know, it's something that, yeah, that was a crazy experience. So, and it's crazy. Niggas probably listening to this who got shot at a million times. Oh, I think you'll be all right. This is not a normal fucking thing. You know, it's crazy. I guarantee you somebody from Chicago or inner city will hear that and be like, it ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? I got hit, ooh, blah, blah. Like, y'all, this shit ain't normal, dude. We're not supposed to be getting shot at. We're not supposed to be getting fucking killed. You know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, that's how I'm doing.
For sure. Reggie from over east, though, them niggas already dead.
Oh, God. See, we got one in here.
Hey, y'all, it's Kim from Host of Black Girl Podcast. Look, I don't really need no advice. I don't got a story or nothing. I just wanted to say that I tuned into some of the clips that y'all posted, and I just want to say y'all are doing an amazing job, and y'all are having some really impactful conversations, especially in this era of podcasting where people are really just getting on a mic just for viral moments. But I really appreciate the direction that y'all are going. I think that y'all are doing a great job, so I just wanted to say good job and continue going in that direction. And I really fuck with the content. But all right, y'all. Bye.
We appreciate that.
I heard her carbon monoxide detector beeping in the background. Change that goddamn carbon monoxide detector, Cam. What's going on, man? Change that. But that's Cam from Philly. I love the Philly accent.
You didn't even have to say that. I can tell.
Yeah,
Really.
I love her.
Appreciate you, Cam.
Cam is dope as fuck. Make sure y'all listen to our podcast. She did just announce the end of it, but it's still a great show and it's still out there if you want to go back and listen to it. It's called Wholesome Girl podcast. I think you spell wholesome HEAUXSOME.
She stopped it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but she does have a blog that's crazy, super nice.
Okay.
So let me get her at though while I'm trying to hold on. Let me give y'all her at though. KAMORYROSE. Kamari Rose. Roses are dead. Terry Rose. We already go together. It's crazy. All right. Next. I'm gonna tag her too in the show notes if I can remember. This is a long one. This one is actually like 9 minutes.
9 minutes? You can leave a 9-minute voicemail?
You can leave a 3-minute voicemail. She left 3 of them.
You know what? She needs answers. We might want to get to that.
Let's do it.
Hi, Terry. It's Antonella. I recently started listening to your podcast, probably within the last week. It's amazing. I understand a lot of it. I get it. It makes sense. I've encountered it with men. I'm 25. I'm switching careers as a full-time therapist for trauma survivors. I'm switching from that into school counselor, full-time, and therapist in like part-time. And I'm going back to school for school counselor certification. I'm a gym girly. I wake up at 4:20 Monday through Friday.
We like that.
I cook. I have a full life. However, I'm in my dating thing. Actually, I don't love dating because I'm ready for my person. Like, I don't love dating. It's not very fun to me. I'm from Philadelphia. I don't know if people say things about Philly guys. I also am from Philadelphia. I don't say Philly. I say Philadelphia. Anyway, people say things about the guys here, and I don't know. It's just a struggle with trying to be. I think it's the guys I come across, though. I don't go out much. Like, I'm not a club goer. I go to the gym. I go to the grocery store. I'll, like, occasionally do happy hours with, like, my aunt and sister, but I don't really go out. Like, I don't go to bars. I don't sit at bars. I don't go to clubs. Like, I haven't either, even when I was in my younger 20s. Like, that's just, hasn't been my scene. I was, like, a go-to-school girl. Like I said, I got my master's. I'm working on school counselor certification, so I'm more so focused on books and stuff. And so I was in a relationship when I was getting my master's. We were just at different places in life, I'll say that. So that didn't work out. But shortly after I finished my master's in 2022, I started, like, getting in the dating world. And it's not fun for me. Like, and I have a therapist. I've been seeing one for a while. I've seen one in the past. And it's just, I don't love it. I don't like the games that are played. I don't like guys want you to chase them. I'm not going to chase anyone. If I use dating apps for the most part. So if we match, like, we'll chit-chat or whatever, but I also am not big on, like, texting all day. Like, I don't want to text all day. I have other things to do. Like, I'll go out on a date and see, but guys really even want to take you on a date. They'll ask you to come to their house. Sure, of course. I'm not doing that. Like, well, I have done it, like, once in the past, but I'm not doing that. Like, I'm looking for my partner at this point. But a larger part of that, too, is I'm 25 and I don't want kids. A number of the guys who I come across say they want kids. I don't want them. That is, like, a non-negotiable for me. I'm not willing to have them. Now, if the guy has a kid, I'll, like, talk to him. Like, I'm not against people with kids, but I just know, like, that's not something I want for me. Like, I wouldn't have a kid. I have younger siblings. I'm very involved in their life. I spend a lot of time with them, but a kid of my own is not something I'm interested in. But, yeah, these guys will, like, want you to need them, and that's something you've mentioned in your podcast. I am not trying to need you. Like, I want you, and that is not enough for a lot of them. And I think some of them also get intimidated by where I am at. Or in that, like, I mean, there's this one guy at my mom.
That's the end of voicemail number 1. So let's just interject from here, and then we'll go to the next one. Her next one. She's 25.
Yeah.
And if she's dating in her age bracket, niggas is not gonna be ready to
at all.
And especially when we talking about whether we want kids or not. It might not feel like an early age. I had my first kid at 24. I wanted my first kid at 19 because I was in love with the girl who was pregnant, and that was cool. But looking back at life, all of that is young. We changed so much over time. Like, I'm very different than I was 5 years ago.
For sure.
7 years ago. To commit to somebody at 25, what does that relationship look like at 35? Y'all still figuring out who y'all are as individuals. And sure, some people can grow together. More people grow apart than people who grow together because of the differences. Like, your type of guy that you like at 25 might not be the same as the type of guy that you like at 35. Sure. So this is something so far. We're gonna listen to the rest of your voicemails, but this is something so far that's just like it's just early for you. You know what I'm saying? You got plenty of time, and you should take your time, in my opinion.
I think everybody in they from 18 to I want to say about 27, 28. I'm gonna say 28.
Yeah, I'm with that.
18 and 28. Don't even get distracted with it.
Get in that career.
You know what I'm saying? Get the career, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you curious about. If you got hobbies, you want to travel, whatever the case may be. Just like if I could go back, and of course you can't control how you feel, but I would just say fuck love from 18 to 28, and just get shit in order. Because it can be a distraction, and not necessarily a negative distraction. You can be distracted in a positive way, like you so fucking in love, you lose some ambition, you get off your grind and all that type of shit. You, if something goes wrong, who knows how you're gonna handle heartbreak. You probably one of the people who, if you go through heartbreak, you get, your production goes to shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Some people can get distracted and work harder, but I know a lot of people that just throw them off altogether. And you young, man. Like, yeah. So I wouldn't even trip on it.
Yeah.
Like, I know people who, women, in their 30s, you know what I'm saying, that just end up finding the love of their life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that's going to happen to damn near any good person. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be anxious for anything.
I always say, man, I never learned the value of a woman until I became a man. And what I mean by that is, if a woman's job is to nurture, a woman's job is to make a house a home, a woman's job is to do all of these things. At 25, I don't have anything to nurture. I don't have a house to make a home. I don't have even a child to nurture. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of guys. So once you get a little older, like right now, as a single man in my 30s who has a child who that pretty much lives with me, and I also have another son, having to podcast, which is today, real time, right? Podcast, help with homework, make sure you take a bath, cook dinner, make sure you're in bed at time, all in the same night. It's crazy, and it's not supposed to be that way. And when you're going through it, it's like, oh, that's what she was for. Like, it wasn't just about fun and drinking and sex and all that. It was like, this is companionship. Like, I get it now. I didn't get it when I was 25. You know what I'm saying? So I think once you become a man, you have these things and they need to be nurtured, then you get the value of companionship, and then you want the long-term committed relationship.
For sure. Especially
if you wasn't raised that way. Like, and I can't say I wasn't, but I don't know.
And she said another thing. I think she said, I'm going to paraphrase, but she basically wanted to skip the dating process and just find her person. That's not going to happen, man. Like, a lot of ladies, y'all be delusional with that shit. No offense.
I don't know if she's delusional or exhausted. She seems like she's just exhausted. Which, it could be both.
It could be both. It is both. You can't negate the process to get a result. Like, the result, you're going to have to go outside. You can't just go to the gym. Unless you're gonna be open to niggas hollering at you in the gym, and if you're a gym girly, you're probably not, or maybe so. I don't know. Grocery store.
She said she's a gym girly.
No, if she is a gym girly, that could go both ways. With you being open to niggas coming up to you in the gym, I know most of them aren't.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to get out. You're gonna have to mingle. You're gonna have to go through some shit, guys. You're gonna go through, like, everybody go through a lot of people people's situations and shit don't work until you find your person. So you gotta go. It's a numbers game, low key.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go to the next part.
Let's get it.
Part 2.
So there's this one guy at my mom's job. He's around my age, which I tend to try and date older. That hasn't necessarily brought me success, but that's what I kind of try and do. And he was like, oh, she's got this, that going for herself. Like, yeah, I'm not interested. It's like, why don't people want people who are, successful and doing things? And I am very secure, right? So I don't seek validation in men. Like, when I'm dating them, I'm not checking to see, like, who they're with, what they're doing. Like, that's not my business. That's not my place. But I found that some guys, like, that I have talked to and stuff, they'll do that to me, where they're like, oh, who you took to, what you done? Like, whoa. And they want, like, loyalty. And I'm like, wait a second. We are talking, maybe dating. You're not my boyfriend. And it's not that I, like, talk to multiple people at a time. I don't really love doing that. I have done it, like, on short term, but it's not something I do. I just don't like splitting my energy up in that way. I like to really be present whenever I'm doing it. So, like, trying to live my full life and chat with multiple people is just, it's not the best for me. When I'm ready for my partner, I do have goals that I continue to work on, and I do work on myself. So it's not like I feel like I need this partner to complete me. I have a full life, and my therapist tells me, she's like, Antonella, you know, your partner will just be the icing on the cake. Like, you know, you have it all, and it's like, yeah, I have it all, and I want someone to share that with. I want to be with, you know, the same person and see the same person and sleep with the same person. Like, I want those things. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't need it. I want that. Like I said, I live a full life. I'm happy, you know. But I do want that piece. Like it feels like a slight missing piece for me. And so I'm like, maybe I should go out more to try and meet guys. But then I'm like, I'm not a club goer. So if I meet a guy who's at a club, I can't be mad that he goes out to the club. Not that I'm against guys who like goes out to the club, because I'm not. I'm very secure. I'm not the jealous type. And I think that actually bothers some of the guys I come across, because they want me to be all over them as far as that. Like, as far as affection, I am. But as far as, like, your whereabouts and what you're doing when we're not together, that's really not my business. It's not my place. But I've run into a lot of issues with those kind of guys. I'm just like, I'm just lost. I don't know which way to go or what to do. But I know I'm ready for my partner. At least I feel ready. I've done a lot of self-work. And I don't know what's going on with God in the universe. I'm more of a spiritual person, not religious. And I'm just like, I'm ready for my partner. What is going on? Like, what is taking so long? And I am 25, and I know that the guys around my age are still trying to figure things out, and that's part of why I'm willing to date older, but it's still nothing yet.
Okay. To this part, I would say that you're looking for one person in a world of 8 billion that's going to be your person. It's a needle in a haystack. It's not gonna be easy to find that person. I feel like a part of finding your person is finding out more about yourself. Mm-hmm. And I say that because dating was really easy for me when I didn't know what I wanted, because I would date anybody I was attracted to. So it's like I had unlimited options, right? Mm-hmm. But then when you learn what you want and you learn what you don't want to tolerate and things like that, the dating pool shrinks. Like ridiculously, right? Even just wanting somebody with good communication, the dating pool is like chopped by 80%. You know what I'm saying? So the more you know about yourself, the more easier it will be to immediately assess a person and see if they qualify or don't qualify. Yeah. And I think that will kind of get you closer and closer to finding your person. And you're taking this advice from two guys who haven't found their people, right? So we're in the same process you're in. Challenges for men and women are a little different. I think that women are, having a hard time finding a good man, whereas men are having a hard time choosing between good women. And sure, those processes might look different, but they're both difficult, believe it or not. And I just think the more you know yourself, the closer you'll get to that person. And at 25, it seems like you've accomplished a lot and you've made a lot happen for yourself. But you still learning yourself. I'm still learning myself. You know what I'm saying? So just be patient with the process.
I feel like, and it's hard because we don't know you, but economically you made some good decisions. Like you set yourself up, you accomplished things, but that doesn't correlate to like your romantic journey. You know what I'm saying? Because you can learn yourself through people too. You know what I'm saying? You date people. That's why they say, like, are you really healed until you get tested type shit. Like, you got to put yourself in situations. You got to put yourself out there to date people. But to piggyback off what Terry said, knowing yourself definitely going to speed up the process, because, like, unless you struggle with, keeping your own boundaries. But if you figure out what it is that you want, what it is you're not going to put up with, and now you start dating, you can cut people off. You can cut guys off, relatively quick. Because that, like, their behaviors are not matching up with, your boundaries and your requirements. So you can sort through guys much quicker. And I'm saying, not like in a sleazy way, but like in the most healthy way. And also, it's not far fetched. Like what you want ain't far fetched. I just think you're just a little bit ahead of your time. That's all.
Okay, last one.
Okay, this is my third one. This might be my last one. I'm not sure. But also, I'm not materialistic. And I really am not. Like, I don't do the big designer bags, clothes, shoes, whatever that is. I wear Crocs. I'm a Crocs fan. So it's not like I don't feel like I'm expecting. I mean, I'm definitely expecting things, not like materialistic things. So, like, I want presence and time. Like, that's really my thing. You know, but like I said, I'm not materialist. I'm not like flashy, so I just don't understand what's taking so long or what's the disconnect. Because I feel like I'm a great woman, and I believe I am, and it's just like, what is taking so long? What is the holdup? Why am I waiting? I'm a great woman. I cook, I clean. Now, I don't necessarily do that when I'm just me and Svelly, of course, like talking and stuff. But like, I have those qualities, and I am secure, so I am independent. Like, so I don't I don't lean on guys for support or anything like that as far as like financial. So I don't understand like, because I'm such a great woman, I'll say like, what is the holdup? Like, why am I still waiting? I don't know. And I communicate well. I'm big on communication. And I'm not one of those women who like say I communicate well, but then I'll like catch an attitude and not talk to you. Like, no, if something comes up for me, I'll communicate that. But I've noticed that some guys won't. Things will bother. I've had that where things have bothered them and they've done like the silent treatment. I'm like, I'm not interested in that. To me, that's pretty immature, and I'm not going for that. Like, if you can't
shout out to her.
express yourself, like if you're like
Niggas just ain't ready for that at 25.
They're not.
And then you circle back and be like, well, actually, this is oh, wait a second now. You said my things I'm not doing that. And I will say that when it comes to emotions, I've gotten a lot better with that as far as guys, because the last guy I dated, the last guy was in a relationship, the guy was in a relationship, I wasn't the best at that. I can say that I've done growth on that part, like a lot, holding space. But that's another thing. We'll be talking to somebody, and then when they find out I'm a therapist or something, which comes up pretty early, because I ask, like, hey, what do you do for work? They tell me, I tell them, and then I've had some guys, like, only talk to me kind of just to get, like, validation for whatever they had going on. Like, they want to get interested in me. And I'm like, dang, that's messed up. And that's another thing with, like, as a therapist, I have this level of understanding and, like, trying to find the fine line between understanding and not excusing people's behaviors. Cause similar to something you said in the past, like, you get so understanding to where you forgive them. It's like, yeah, but just because I know why you did it doesn't mean, I should keep you in my life. So there's just so much there, and part of the story is I'm ready for my person, and it just seems really difficult, and I'm not sure what to do or how to make this easier. My sister says I want the good stuff without putting in the work, but I don't know.
Yeah.
How much work do I need to put in? Okay, that's the honest.
I would say, all in all, my overall takeaway from this is that you have a lot of great things going for yourself, a lot more than the average 25-year-old. You're not the average 25-year-old. I know that you said you date guys that are older. The average 25-year-old isn't ready for what the emotional maturity, the finances, and everything that you have going on. A lot of guys that's 30 aren't ready for that. So you're a rare woman. You're looking for a rare guy, and you're just not going to find him overnight. But I think you're going to end up with a great partner, especially if you keep working on yourself and you keep, putting yourself out there. I think you're going to end up with a great partner.
For sure.
And standing on them boundaries,
yeah.
For sure.
I got one thing for you, and I think it's going to help you out. Philippians 4:6-7.
Shout out to Jesus.
Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, but in everything by prayer, supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ. Be anxious for nothing. Like, you have everything that you got going on. You confident in yourself. You know what you're bringing to the table. You shouldn't have anxiety when it comes to, I want my partner. I want my partner. I want my partner. It's gonna come. Like, you're doing the work, and somewhere that nigga just doing the work too. And y'all gonna eventually cross paths when it's time for y'all to cross paths. You never know why God isn't sending your person just yet. Like, it's just not the right time. He could be protecting you. He could be protecting your spouse from you. He could be protecting you from him. Like, I also think it's a such thing as a right person, wrong time. Everything is gonna come together right when it's supposed to. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't be anxious. Just chill out and let it come to you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm going to remain anonymous, but I appreciate both Terry and Jones sharing advice about co-parenting, especially when Jones talked about what his son does at his house versus his mom's. I was in that same situation with my son, and his dad had to have a conversation, but I try to listen to Well, I listen to the podcast, everyone, but I try to listen to some parts with my son, so it opens up a conversation with us. But shout out to y'all. Keep doing y'all big one, and I'll tune in to the next one.
All right, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Also, the last caller, that voicemail was from July 31st. So we want to hear an update. I didn't hear an update.
You want to see if she found somebody?
Yeah, I mean that was
Yes,
like what,
that's very possible.
2 months ago, whatever. Yeah, we want to hear an update. And thank you to the last voicemail. Thank you, we appreciate it. The co-parent episode was dope.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be making more content like that, so we appreciate you.
And that's dope what you did. Listening to it with your son. That's easy conversation starters. Like, because versus you trying to explain and probe for a conversation, he can listen and, you know what I'm saying, y'all can start a dialogue like that. So good idea.
Let's go.
Hi, Perry. Just want to let you know that you dropped maybe like 4 or 5 Patreon episodes on your Apple Music today. And it was so smart. You got me locked in. So at this point, I definitely have to subscribe to your Patreon because I want to hear the rest of the episode. That was so smart of you, very on point, right on time. So yeah, with that being said, I'm about to subscribe to your Patreon so I can listen to the rest of the episodes. I love it. I'm here for it. Keep it up. Have a great day.
I like her voice.
Look at this point, ain't no fraternizing.
Okay. Welcome to the Patreon. Thank you for listening, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. I've been listening to your podcast for a few weeks, and I appreciate the information you guys are putting on your platform for young men. I've noticed that you guys are very involved in your community, and lately I've had an itch to get involved with my community as well. I've been working on an event for a few weeks that would include women ages 15 to 50. My question to you would be, am I going about doing community service with the wrong mindset because I want to cater it to Black women? I'm a 25-year-old woman who was raised around nothing but Black women. Nonetheless, my high school was very diverse, but I did attend an HBCU for college. I'm not trying to be racist, but I just don't see a lot of spaces available for young Black women. I'm also not saying that I don't associate with other races, but my main network is Black women. The purpose in my event would be to show young girls that Black women are in positions of power just as much as the other women that they see on TV. So hosting an event to focus on that, but white people and other people of color are in attendance, and also the minority, I don't think they'll receive or appreciate the information or energy as much as having the space being filled with only Black women. But since this is the first event I've ever organized, I also want to be very careful of giving off the impression that I'm only for the advancement of Black people and not all people who live in my community. So how should I go about this?
She must have a lot of friends of different races.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't give a fuck.
I'm like, ooh, let me answer.
Go ahead.
So one, I think you should. First of all, you're not wrong. It's a great idea.
You're not wrong.
I do think that your age gap is a little too wide. I would say maybe have 2 separate events, like maybe 15 to 30 and then 30 to 50. Because if it's a lot of, let's just say, people who 35, 40 and older show up more than the younger, it could just not connect well with the younger crowd. So I would just like split the age groups up. And as far as you caring about Black people, so there's somebody who feels the same way about, their own ethnic group. Like, they can focus on that. Like, your mission, your calling, you feel the need to serve this community. Why are we so apologetic when it comes to, focusing on our people? Like, we feel like we got to include everybody. All lives matter type shit. Like, yeah, they do. But right now, you talking about young Black women. So that's the focus. That don't mean, the other people ain't the focus. But not right now, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe after the event. But you want to talk about and serve there. So I don't think you're wrong for that.
Yeah. I think that if someone has an issue with that, it says a lot about the person that has an issue with it. a lot more about them than it does about you. And the thing is, the reason why we make things that are exclusively black, because I've been around white people before, and they're like, oh, well, what if we had a White History Month? What if we had white entertainment television? Like, bro, every month is White History Month.
Right.
Labor Day, Memorial Day, all of these, Lincoln, like every month is White History Month, right? Every channel is white entertainment television. AMC, Bravo, USA, like, what the fuck are we talking about? We make stuff exclusive for us because we need it, because we are underrepresented, because we have been oppressed. So yes, we need stuff that is for us and only us, because we're in a unique predicament in this country and we didn't put ourselves here. So anybody who got an issue with that, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? And that might be more difficult for you than me, because all my friends, you know, are from the same environment. I don't have a diverse friend group. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can see that being a problem when you have, like, if you put this event out and you have a ton of, you know, Hispanic and white and Asian friends, or whatever the case may be. I can see that. I can see why you might feel that way, but you just got to stand on it, man. And that's what we call being unapologetically black. And, you know, I understand. I'm trying to empathize because I don't have a diverse friend group, so I don't know how that feels, but I think you headed in the right direction, and I think that when you want to do something and you feel resistance and you feel some fear or some anxiety, you know you're going in the right direction.
And one more thing, representation matters. Like you said, you want these young women to see other women in power who look like them, and you know, we always say you can't be what you can't see, so they need to see that. So I think you're doing a great thing. So
foot on gas, belt to ass. Let's do it.
Hello. First of all, I really, really appreciate the podcast. I just started listening not too long ago, and it has caught my attention. So keep up the good work. So my story, well, not really a story. It really, I don't know. We're gonna see. I guess long story short, I have been moving around. So I'm originally from Chicago, but I went, traveling, chasing degrees and things of that sort. And I, in between getting my degrees and stuff like that, I've dated a little bit, but it never really was my main focus because why would it be? I, have other things to do. But now I feel like I'm in a point in my life where I want to date seriously, date intentionally, because I'm not getting no older. I mean, no younger. I'm not getting no younger. So, everything has to count. I'm 25. I'm in the PhD program and things of that sort. And my program will potentially end within the next 2 or 3 years. But most of the guys that I have talked to, I've either stopped talking to them for obvious reasons, work, school, things of that sort. Couldn't really juggle them all. But then the other reason was because I felt like a lot of the men that I was talking to that was around my age were very, narcissist. So they would try to make it seem as if I was, or belittle my accomplishments and belittle where I am in life in comparison to them, or they would try to make me feel stupid, when I know very much so well I'm a very intelligent young woman. So then I decided to date older, and not like crazy older, but like 35, 36 or whatever. But those men still felt some type of insecure, I guess, or it just, I don't know. So my question is, and again, I'm living in an area that I don't really care to date in because the men just are not up to par. And I am from Chicago, so the idea is to get my degree and then go back home to the city. But my fear a little bit is that when I go home, the bracket of men are either going to have children, which that's not a bad thing, or got to be unavailable. So I guess my rant is, one, why are men, or some men, intimidated when they have a strong black woman that's able to hold her own and have been doing so for so long? why does that come with like?
Damn, cut off. And she didn't leave another one. So my first comment is with the age thing, right? Like a lot of women are saying like, oh, well, guys my age aren't ready for this, so I try to date older. A secure nigga is a secure nigga. He could be 22 or 52.
For sure.
A nigga that's a good person is a nigga that's a good person. I don't care if he's 22, 52, 62. It is what it is. So I don't think the age bracket thing matters as much unless you're looking for someone that's more established. But if you're looking for good character is good character. It's not an age on that. Outside of that, as far as the dating pool, well, the question was actually why are men intimidated by these things? And I used to say men aren't intimidated by it because I was just speaking of and my experience. But can some guys be intimidated by it? Absolutely. The truth is that we weren't raised or prepared for that woman at the end of the day. We were raised on the idea that a man is the breadwinner. For our grandparents and our fathers, typically, you were the man just because. So if you grew up in an environment where, if you grew up in earlier times, a man, if you were born with a dick, you were going to be a breadwinner because you had access to mainstream America, the workforce, you had more opportunities to have adequate income to be able to lead a household. Women didn't have those opportunities. Those are the men that we are raised by. The world has always been that way. We are one of the first generations of men having to deal with this new era of women having money. Yeah. So we were just not prepared for it at the end of the day. So it's intimidating because it's unknown. Like it's uncharted waters for a lot of guys. And we trying to figure this shit out in real time. And I feel like that's why dating is in shambles in this generation. This is the reason why Roses Are Dead is even a thing. Like this is really the core in the base of our whole philosophy on dating and where we are right now. I think that men thrive on feeling adequate and having the answers. So if I'm a guy who, even if I'm making money, I'm not formally educated, so I don't know a whole lot of things or a whole lot of different things about mainstream America, or I make less money than someone, I'm not, like, that's not the fantasy that I was sold. Just like women were sold a certain picket fence fantasy, men are sold a certain ideal of how life should look as well, and that's not the idea we was raised on. Men don't like learning from women. A lot of men don't like learning from men unless they really trust them, right? So we are judged and rated, and we thrive off of knowing what to do next, having solutions, having answers, being correct. You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas can't take it if you say, oh, I think we should go left, and he say you should go right, and he wrong. It'd be a little tension in the car. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it get that deep with niggas because that's kind of how we socialize to be adequate. You know what I'm saying? And then when we're not, it puts us in a position that we just don't know what to do with, especially with a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be inadequate when you're around other men, but with a woman, you really supposed to know what's going on. Like, I remember times walking around with women downtown and getting lost and feeling like, in my mind, kind of panicking, like, damn, I'm probably like a weak ass nigga right now. I don't even know where we at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I felt that when we was in Orlando and I lost the car. Yeah. And I've never been there before. And I'm like, man, I feel weak as hell right now. How the fuck I lose the car?
Yeah, so that's just how we socialize, and it's difficult. And that is something that we as men need to work on. And it's just a new era. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it.
No, I'm good with that.
That's all we got.
God in the king.